We're down on the west coast of Tasmania, and the plan for this adventure is to catch up with Graham, who's already on the coast, and drive some of the most scenic and most beautiful tracks around Tasmania. It's an absolute favourite place of mine, and we're actually in a part of Tasmania right next to a track that I've been wanting to drive for years. It's called the Cold Stream Track. Now, a lot of locals call it the $1,000 track, and I don't know why, but I'm really keen to drive it. So I might be a little bit cheeky here, and I might actually try and just go and see that track first before I catch up with Graham. I'm making great time. I've got Barney in the convoy with me. It's only 2 vehicles, so maybe we'll go down, check that track out, then catch up with Graham, then we'll start our adventure.
I tell you what though, I'd give my right arm to join the boys on this one, but in truth, I missed the ferry and I've had to settle for meeting the boys on the coast. The $1,000 track is situated just outside Waratah, and it's an absolute doozy. Sean and Barney are going to take it on without me, but once we do meet up, we're heading to another awesome track I know of called the Magnet Track. The great thing is there's plenty of places to explore in Western Tassie, and even if they're late to meet me, I'll still have plenty to do around here.
Now the turn off of this track is just here to the left, so what I want to do before I actually get on the track is I'm going to put a waypoint on the VMS just so I know exactly where I'm starting. There we go. And the other thing I want to do is I want to turn on the track log. Now basically making a track log is going to show exactly which way I've gone, so if I do get into any strife down here, I can easily turn around and follow my path exactly the way back out. So alright, we're set, we're ready to go.
Right now, it looks to me like Sean is going to start the ride of his life. The $1,000 track isn't very long, but for what it lacks in distance, it sure makes up in difficulty.
Well Barney, this must be it mate, this must be the start of the track, because there's a bridge on our right which is down, there's a river crossing we've got to go through, and this is the perfect description mate for the start of the track.
Looking good, mate. That should be fun if there's no bridges where we're going.
Yeah, that's right. It's a bit of a water crossing too.
If you are going to have a crack at it, then make sure you do it early so you give yourself enough time to complete it before dark. Did you hear that, Sean?
So I'll give it a bit of a wash underneath and then we'll get a bit more dirty, eh?
Yeah, that's it, mate. This is definitely the start of the track.
Now, Barney is just as mad a four-wheel driver as both Sean and I, and he's super keen to get the Forbies dirty once again.
Let's get it done, baby.
I can tell you, he won't be disappointed. And it's not long until the $1,000 track takes its first punch. Shauno's in trouble.
Yeah, I'll need some assistance, mate. That fuel cap's underwater too, so we might need to be quite quick on a strap here. I don't know if you can see the same angle that I'm seeing right now, but the vehicle is nearly on its side in a mud puddle. $1,000 track, eh? We're about, I don't know, 100 metres into it. This is pretty wild. Oh, heck. Taking my seatbelt off just in case. If I do go over into this puddle, there's a lot of water in there. I don't want to be fumbling for a seatbelt to get out that other window. We're going to go and winch forward out of this hole because I'm on a really obscure angle here, and it's a violent snatch strap is going to probably put me on my side in a mud puddle. I don't want that. The other problem, I can smell diesel, and I think my filler cap is underwater. Grab that. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Yep. So the last problem I really want is for my diesel tank to fill up with water, because of course water in your fuel system doesn't work. I can smell diesel. I smell a lot of diesel actually.
Barney is straight into it. He's going to run the winch out to a decent sized tree.
Put it in. Go. Yeah. Plug it in. Plug it in.
However, this plan just isn't going to work.
Nah, there's no light on.
Sean's had a few electronic gremlins ever since the last trip. He thought he'd fix that problem, but it's playing up again and he's not able to get power to the winch. It's time for another plan. Barney's managed to squeeze around and he's going to try and snatch the 30 forward. Here he goes. But it looks like Sean is wedged firmly in that bog and it's just not working. Plan number 3. Barney is going to try and use his winch.
That's feeling better already.
Good, now your left wheel's on the ground, Sean. Good, there's a tree right in front. Alright, you're out.
And I'm out. How good's that? You're a legend, Barney. Well done, mate.
It was good fun, buddy. Good fun, but let's avoid that.
This is both Sean and Barney's first time attempting the $1,000 track, and they're loving it so far. It's got some great challenges along it, but if my memory serves me correct, the further you go, the tougher it gets. Well, it's reached late afternoon and it's time for all of us to meet at the end of the track. However, there's just no sign of Sean and Barney. I've waited and I've waited. I tried calling them, but I couldn't get through. Of course, there's no mobile reception out here. So I waited some more. I know this track is a challenge, so I'm not that surprised that they're late getting here. No answer. Straight to message bank, they're out of range. Where the heck are they? But yeah, while I've been waiting, they've been slowly edging towards me along this track.
So we're heading through the creek, eh, mate?
Yeah, that's it. There'll be some big rocks and a big log, so just watch out for those.
No worries, mate, we'll do.
There are quite a few creek crossings along the $1,000 track, and often they've got steep entries and exits.
Oh, you really want to put your tyres in the right spot through here. Just going to try to pick the rocks. And there we go, I'm down. That was about as graceful as a hippopotamus with high heels. Oh, straight up, come on. Oh, I jumped up, bit of a locker. Bit of locker for that one. Yeah, I'm all through, mate. That was actually a little bit harder than it looked.
Alright, locker engaged.
Barney's got the right idea. You see, engaging those lockers is definitely going to help in this situation. And there he goes, he's through. Good work, mate. After finally receiving a text letting me know that the boys are okay, but they're running late, I've decided to go out and explore the area on my own. I don't know too many people that do a lot of solo four-wheel driving. I kind of grew up doing it, just because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I didn't want to have to wait until the weekend or until a mate got time off to come with me, so I just used to head off and go fishing and surfing by myself, find new spots, just go exploring, and pretty comfortable on my own. I don't really mind it at all. In fact, truth be told, I quite enjoy it. That said, I enjoy it far more with a few more mates, but I don't mind me solo trips.
This track is just so much fun. It's typical Tassie, just mud and water everywhere. Yeah, that's not too bad, mate, that one.
It looks pretty good. We need a couple of easy ones, I reckon.
You just never know with Tassie, do you, mate?
No, she's certainly turning it on for us, buddy. Hold on. Oh!
You're having an absolute ball. This is awesome, this track.
Yeah, mate. Ton of fun so far.
Yeah! How good, Zach? Yeah, baby. So good. We're just having way too much fun. What an epic bit of track. Yeah! Drop the clutch, second gear.
In we go to the bar hole.
As we head deeper into the Tassie bush, it's becoming quite clear that this track should never be taken lightly. Starting to have my suspicions that we might be on this track all day, because if it stays like this, it's pretty slow going, this track, and I'm starting to get, I don't know, half an idea why it might be called the $1,000 track. Maybe something to do with vehicle damage or something like that. This is a hairy track, and I reckon we haven't even got to the hard bit yet. I don't know, I think we'll still catch up with Graham tonight, but we'll be cutting it fine, that's for sure.
They're having fun, all right.
Ah!
Barney is deep in a bog hole, and Shauno, he's trying to help. But at the same time, he's trying not to get soaked in that icy water for the rest of the day.
Where are you going? Hey, stop being funny. I'm totally drowning here.
Yep, out.
But it's just not his day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Ah!
Oh, bugger!
Ah! After all that! Oh, yes, I love it! Oh, having a good day. Woo! Hey, Barney, I don't hold grudges, mate, but I think you might owe me now. Oh.
How's that for karma for being late to meet me? Talking of which, I finally reached our new meeting spot. Oh boy, this is thick. It's opening up here. This must be, looking at the VMS, this is the campsite the boys and I have decided we'd stay. We're going to meet here. Yep, that's it. There's the river crossing. Oh, what a beautiful spot. However, as Shauno has told me, they're doing a $1,000 track. My thinking is they are not going to make it till at least just after dark by the time they get out of there. Luckily for me, the D-Max has been working wonders. It's got me here now with zero issues at all. Find myself a little campsite up here somewhere and just wait for the boys to arrive. Something tells me they're going to be late.
These tracks are just so dense, there's trees either side, and it's just a challenge every sort of 50 metres. And speaking of which, hey Barney, I might have to get out here, mate. It looks like a huge tree has fallen over the track.
That looks like a whopper, but we'll grab the chainsaws and get to work, eh?
That could be a showstopper. Have a look at that. That is one of the biggest fallen trees I've ever seen. There's simply no way getting around it. We're really going to have our work cut out here. It almost looks like it's impossible to get through. I mean, look at the size of this tree. Look at the size of the saw and me. I mean, this is a doozy of a tree, but we're just going to chip away at it because this is quite dead and this is our probably only saving grace. We might be able to winch fair chunks of this tree to the side and then use some of the bits we've cut off to build a bit of a ramp. It might not all be over. You know, when we looked at this first up, we thought, no way in the world, we might have to turn around here. It's getting late in the day and I reckon we might have another hour worth of work here, cutting and building, and then we'll try and bring some vehicles through and I don't know, fingers crossed maybe, hey?
While the boys are trying to take on Godzilla with a toothpick, I'm going to get camp set up. Tasmania is well known for its constantly changing weather, so I'm getting the awning up over my swag just in case. Well, if you're sitting at home right now thinking, geez, Graham, that looks pretty darn good, you're spot on. This is one of the better campsites I've ever seen. Now, I'll give you a bit of an idea where it is. It's just outside of Waratah, of course, in Tasmania. Little tiny riverside. There's a campsite just up here that I've got all to myself today. This is why I own a four-wheel drive. This right here. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You're sick of it, but I'm going to say it once more. It really is as good as it gets. Cheers.
While Graham's hard at it relaxing, Barney and I are working even harder to remove this tree. I've managed to get that electrical gremlin fixed in the 30, and my winch is back in action. Despite the power of the winch though, that section of log just doesn't want to move. There's some serious weight and friction at play here.
Hasn't moved at all.
The sheer size of this tree is making it almost impossible to cleanly cut through it, and there's still a solid mass of wood holding the sections together. Alright, it's cool if I start winching. Alright, I'm winching this. This might just work. I can't believe it. I'm winching a log. You've got to see to believe, this is insane. Have a look at this thing. It's an absolute monster. I can't believe this. Just winch this log right out of the way and looks like we can get past that with a couple more cuts of the chainsaw. Don't think we're going to make it to see Graham tonight. It's starting to get dark now. It's actually 8:30. I'm looking at the clock right now. It's still light because we're in Tassie, but it's 8:30 at night. Gotta love Tasmania. Even with the first section of tree removed, there's still a huge amount of tree left blocking the track. This is going to be a long night. It's not long and the sun has set, but there's no way we're giving up on this one. It's a big job. Even the camera crew have got involved. We're up to the last log. It's about 10:30 at night. If we can just get the vehicles through here, we're going to put camp down there. Now I just want to show you because everyone is on the tools at the moment. Obviously Barney's been working his absolute guts out all night. We've cleared like 4 or 5 of these massive logs. We've also got Dino, the photographer. He's on the, what is he on the axe at the moment? We've got Jared on the shovel and Dorian, our producer. He's holding the camera, but he's been on the shovel as well, and we've been sawing, we've been cutting, we've been lifting, we've been winching. It's been one of those trips, one of those epic nights, and we've still got a long way to go. We're having an absolute blast, aren't we, fellas? Yep! Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe what I just saw. We just winched the last log out of the way. It's nearly 11 o'clock. We need to get some dinner too. Hear the screams. The boys are excited. I'm bloody excited. What a trip. What an absolute epic. So close this log. Got it. I think I've got it. Yeah, that's it, I think. Finally, we've done it. All the hard work has paid off. And better still, the track is clear for other four drivers who want to explore the $1,000 track. Yeah! That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. Oh, we've still got half the track to do, but I'm not even going to worry about that until tomorrow. This is probably camp right here. I mean, it's nothing too pretty. I mean, it's enclosed with almost jungle on both sides, but it's flat, almost, and there is no bog holes or mud in sight, you know, so we're going to put swags down. Oh, this is good. Woo! We're home! I'll tell you what, this is one of the single most gnarly tracks we've ever done. I am absolutely loving life right now. We've got a fire, it's warm, I've got a cold beer in my hand. Mate, I reckon this is it. What do you reckon Graham's doing right now?
Well, Shauno, I'm having a beer with all my mates. Stick around, because when I eventually meet up with the lads, things really get going.
How good is this? Camping right beside your vehicle on a track in Tasmania. It rained all night last night, which is a little bit of a worry because the tracks were slippery enough as it was yesterday, and today I reckon it's going to be quite greasy out there. I reckon it's going to be a lot of winching, a lot of pretty epic driving. This probably rates as one of the better tracks I've ever done in Tassie. How good is this place? Well, you wouldn't believe it, but I've got one bar of reception. I'm going to try and make a phone call to Graham because I was supposed to catch up with him last night, of course, and didn't. So he's probably thinking, what's going on?
Shauno! Shauno!
There you are, mate. How are you?
Where the heck are you?
Mate, it's turned out to be a bit of an epic. Beer and logs, bog holes, nearly rolled at 30. Yeah, mate, it's been pretty wild.
So when do you get out of there?
I'm not going to make any promises, but if we get out before dark today, we deserve a hero welcome, I reckon.
All right, well, I'll try and see if I can't find my way there, mate, from the other direction.
Righto, mate. All right, sorry about that as well.
Yeah, you owe me a beer, buddy. All right, talk to you soon.
See you, mate. All right.
Shauno. $1,000 track. What was he thinking? I'm going to head in from the other end to meet the guys. Their plan for today is simple. Finish the $1,000 track. This is going to be fun.
Hey, Barney, you wouldn't pick it, mate, but another bog hole.
Nah, mate, wouldn't have thought that at all.
Oh, I don't know, it's hard to tell, but it looks like there's lots of rocks and logs and stuff in here. We're not going to go too quick. When it comes to driving bog holes, there's not a lot of room for subtlety. Go in slow, come out fast, and don't stop in the middle. Well, that's my advice anyway.
Yeah, mate, looks like a solid base.
Yeah, heaps of traction there, mate.
You beauty, I'll come on through.
With an agreed section of track to meet Graham plumbed into the VMS already, we're trying our very best to punch our way towards the Coldstream River.
Yeah, easy start to the day, mate.
All right, well, I'm going to try and find my way in to meet up with the boys. Now, I have been in here before, several years ago, along the $1,000 track, but experience teaches me things. I don't think I want to tackle the $1,000 track solo. Had a look on the VMS and I think I can see an ulterior way in. Never done it before and I've not got any local knowledge, so I'm basically just going to pick my way along and just see how I go. Little solo adventures like this, I thrive on them, I really do love them. She's already pretty thick, pretty rough through here. So we'll see how we go. Wish us luck.
That's a cool couple of S-bends, mate.
It's pretty fun, that drive. Bog after bog, we're working our way through. Each challenge though is becoming harder than the next. In the meantime, Graham is making his way down a spur track that will eventually join up to the $1,000 track.
Tasmania. This place is absolutely mental. What a variety of terrains. We've got deep mud, steep hill climbs, everything in between. And I reckon the real technique behind learning how to tackle each one of those different terrains is knowing what gear to use and when to use it. Mud driving. There's an old saying when it comes to mud, second low and go, go, go. Low speed rocks. In this situation, I'll usually rely on the transmission to do the gear selection for me. And this is one of those times. Rutted inclines. When tackling steep inclines, it really comes down to steady throttle control and ensuring that you select the right gear for the incline. Of course, the steeper it is, the more torque you'll want, so you'll want to select a lower gear. Steep declines. Again, you'll want to select your gears manually. Depending on the steepness, you'll want to select either first or second gear low range, which will help prevent the vehicle running away downhill. Sand. Now look, sand is one of those times when I really prefer to let the auto do its job.
Barney and I really have to rely upon each other for recoveries, and it looks like we might need that extra help as we come up to a major challenge here. Oh. Hey Barney, it's more of that soupy sort of stuff, mate.
I'm kind of getting used to it, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a story about trip, hasn't it?
Sure has, but that's what we come down here for. All that new cuttings, mate. It looks a bit tricky, doing well.
Oh, traction's hard, but we found it.
Looks like you found that tree as well.
Oh mate, there's a big bog hole here. Would you have a go with this bog hole? It's an absolute doozy. Second gear, low range, 2 lockers. Done any four-wheel driving in Tasmania, you know that it's pretty standard for a four-wheel drive to have 35-inch tyres, twin locked and a massive lift. Now I don't blame them, this sometimes means that the ruts and bog holes out here have become very deep and it's easier for lower slung vehicles to get hung up. Oh my goodness, hang on.
You're gonna monster it, come on.
I'm going to give it all I've got. Nah. Righto, I'm going to have to winch this one, mate. It's I think it's beaten me. It's time to break out the winch once again. And thankfully, those electrical gremlins that were playing havoc on the 30 are now playing ball. And I've got the power to winch, and I'm able to pull myself through. All right, mate, when you are ready.
I was born ready.
It's Barney's turn for this huge bog section. Oh, have a go of that. That was so close. He was nearly going over, but the bank thankfully stopped him. Oh heck, now we're in a bit of a situation where it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get him out. We've got a pretty elaborate sort of recovery going on at the moment. We've got a strap, of course, on the back to the 80 series. We've got a strap that's on the back of the tow hitch, which is on a pulley block across the back of my Dirty 30 here on the rear winch. I've also got my front winch connected to a tree so I don't get pulled back down this slippery clay hill. And I've also got Barney's winch around another tree, and he controls himself from not going over. It's like a spider web of ropes at the moment, but I reckon it might just work.
Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go.
This is pretty tense. We really have to time this well and winch gently. The reason we can't winch straight back is because Barney is stuck hard up against the bank. So we need to winch him sideways and then back at the same time.
I am excited about the smallest things right now, like not rolling.
That worked quite well, really, all considering. It could have been ugly if he sort of fell into his lead, so we were overcautious. We had a lot of winches going on, but he was safe as houses. It wasn't a spectacular fall into the mud puddle, but it worked, no damage. Now we can keep going. That was a solid effort, boys, and we really needed to think outside the square. Better still, we're getting even closer to that meeting point. I hope Graham has a few cold ones waiting for us. Are you gonna like that one, Barney?
Yep. Got him. When you're solo, no one around, no camera car. Sure no? He's not here. When you're solo, it adds a whole new element. But just even the more minor obstacles can get the heart racing, because you know, if it goes pear-shaped, it's you, and only you. Get yourself out of it. Can't even get a smile off your face, I look like an idiot. Everywhere you go in Tassie, you're reminded of the mining history of the area. And I reckon what I've come upon here is something to do with the early gold mining in the area. There's a creek that runs across there. If you come down here with me, if you look down in here, I don't know whether you can see down here, someone many moons ago has dug a trench through here. Whoa, big tiger snake, look at that. 2 of them, look at that. What are they doing out there? Whoa. I reckon they were mating, big tiger snakes. Whoa, that scared the heck out of me. Wow. How cool is that? Whew. I nearly stood on them. Well, you saw, I was only, a metre? And they were good sized tigers, big tiger snakes. All right, I'm gonna leave them in peace. Let's get going. That's a reminder. Solo out here in the middle of nowhere. Heavy. Let's keep going.
This track got so many big boulders, just really testing the suspension out. And, it's just full on. It just doesn't give up. It's so hard on the gear, this track. And I suppose you need good quality components to four-wheel drive. My suspension is 2-inch lift. It's only 2-inch lift. It's sort of a touring sort of setup, but it does give you pretty good articulation and this sort of stuff. Good quality suspension can really make all the difference, especially when you're tackling some of the toughest tracks in Tasmania. Well, mate, we're at the river, and according to the VMS, we must be pretty close. This might be almost the end of the track.
Well, mate, it's been a good drive. We're looking forward to the break.
Mate, this has been one of those tracks I think I'll remember for a heck of a long time. It's got Tassie written all over it. It's super tough and super fun too.
Yeah, mate, love the heck out of it. Definitely the toughest I've done. Tassie's turned it on for us all.
Well, I reckon Sean knows exactly why the locals call it the $1,000 track. It's almost 24 hours late, but it's better late than never. We're about to meet here near the end of the track. Wow, those guys look like they've had a ball.
Mate, this has got to be the campsite. It fits the description.
Yeah, mate, by the river sounds good.
Here he is, look at him.
Well, I never. What on earth, mate? Shortcut. Good to see you, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Barney, $1 million track, eh?
Yeah,
good shortcut.
We're gonna rename it the 4-month track.
Right near to where we met was a fantastic area that we could camp. So we made it our home for the night and got set up. And despite being so late, Shauno stepped up and said he'd cook for the night. Good on you, mate. Top job. I'm starving.
All right, tonight we're cooking up a chicken curry with apricot. Now, we've just driven the $1,000 track. I want to call this one the $1,000 apricot chicken curry. Now, it doesn't cost $1,000, it costs about $10 to make this one, this is why I love this meal. It's so cheap and easy. But I'm going to call it a $1,000 one because the damage it's going to do. Holy heck, it'll be $1,000 worth of damage easily. There we go. The camp oven's getting nice and hot. I've got a little bit of oil in there already. I'm just going to cut up a couple of onions, get those started. Hey Graham.
Yeah, what do you want, monkey?
Would you be able to dive into the Waco and grab yourself and myself some beers?
Yes,
now,
I can, mate.
while you're in there, actually, you're going to get a couple of packets of chicken out. I've got chicken breast. I usually use drumsticks, but that doesn't matter. Any chicken will do, to be honest with you. Not a chef, I'm just an average bloke trying to make a meal.
Well, now you're talking yourself up. Do you want to open some of this?
That's all going in. This is a beautiful little camp, by the way, mate.
Oh, it's a cracking spot, isn't it?
Ooh, okay, now you stir that one up. No, you get some garlic in there if you could.
Settle down, you.
Get some garlic.
Yeah, righto. How much garlic? Just a sort of my amount?
Just a fair old bit. I'm suggesting probably about 4 cloves of garlic.
That's about right.
Hang on, mate. Come on. 4 cloves, I said, not 1 clove.
That's half the jar.
That's a lot of garlic.
Chuck it on
Right,
there,
we'll
mate.
chuck that in. First batch.
Rock and roll.
Chicken. Oh, I wasn't supposed to put that in first.
Oh, no. was supposed
Chicken. Oh, it's not too late. It's not too late, is it? Bit of curry powder. That was supposed to go
Donuts
in
there, Tiger.
with the onion and stuff, and you're supposed to let that curry powder start to infuse, quadfuse into the onions and garlic. And when you start to smell that curry powder, then you put your chicken in. Well, I'm going to put a fair bit in here. I never hold back with the curry. That's a lot of curry.
Shall I stir that?
Yeah, definitely. Ooh,
All right, brought the chicken back to life.
Hang on there, mate.
Steve, how big is this one?
65 litres of dual zone magic, mate.
That is a big one.
I always keep the 65 because it's dual zone, fridge and freezer.
Very
One of
handy.
those long trips. Cheers, bud.
Thank you.
To conquerors of the $1,000 track. And Graham. Yeah.
I tell you what.
How's that going, mate?
Well, oh, I know what that needs.
What? Needs this. Needs French onion soup.
What do you need?
Needs
Nothing
that.
else.
I'm going to put that in now. He's getting excited. He's going in there. French onion. This is just a packet mix of soup. Just put that straight in. That's a French onion soup in there. So I've got this apricot nectar just in the tin and pour that straight in. Ooh, chilies in there. They're 400ml cans, so 2 of those. 1 packet of French onion soup. I've got curry powder.
And
Got chilies.
bird's eye chilies.
Quite a few chilies in there. We're in strife tomorrow, boys.
Here we are. We strive tomorrow.
All right, well now it's pretty much done. All I need to do is put the lid on this, coals for about an hour,
Oh.
and then I'm gonna make some rice right before I serve it.
Settle down, you.
Ready to go, mate. This will keep you warm on a cold night, this
Yep.
one. That's
Move
nice
swiftly.
and hot. Look at that, boys.
I'm going to get myself a bowl here.
Ooh,
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
yeah,
Here we
serve a
go.
bit of that up, mate. I didn't bring a ladle.
Who needs a ladle when you've got a paper cup?
Exactly right. You have a bit of this, mate.
Oh, we'll have a bit of that. Oh, will you?
What do you reckon,
Shauna.
boys? What do you reckon?
You have nailed it, my friend. That is a mix of sweet and savoury, and
All things.
that's just, if you met that in a nightclub, you'd ask it to dance. That is something else.
Look at that. Ooh, Is it good?
Really good.
That's really good. Ooh, it's got some spice.
Yep. That's it.
Curry, chili.
Double root curry.
Ooh, I'm warming up in the inside already. There you go, folks. A $10 meal, $1,000 later.
Really good. Really, really good.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
I'm going to go and sit down by the fire and
Sounds
smash
good,
this.
mate. Sounds good. I've got some bread too.
Have you got bread?
Stick around because in part 3 we're heading to the magnet track. It's day 3 of our Western Tassie adventure and Brekkie is already on the go. I just love the smell of bacon on the barbecue in the morning. Doesn't get any better.
Mate, doesn't get any better than a cooked brekkie. Another day on the tracks, you going?
Oh, mate, super.
Mate.
Can't wait.
Everything that in Tassie, just, you know, it's world-class four-wheel driving. And you can go down a track you've never heard of
Yep.
and find some really serious low
I
road stuff.
guarantee you won't see anyone today. Guaranteed.
Yep.
Look, that's not going to eat itself.
I might have a second one.
Have another one, yep.
I'm fading away over here, boys.
Yeah, you are. I've noticed that. Get another one into your Barney. I'm going to finish this one and we'll
Hit the
see
track.
if we can get the Dirty 30 started. We'll get going. I think we're going that way.
Okay, all right.
we're back in the saddle, but today we're heading to the Magnet Track. The track begins about 1.75 kilometres west of Waratah, believe it or not, at the local rubbish tip, and follows the route of the former Magnet Tramway, built in 1901 to carry silver lead ore from the Magnet mine. The track follows a creek for much of its distance, and occasionally the creek crosses onto the track, although I have my suspicions that this is some sort of man-made channel used during the mining days.
I'm excited to hit the tracks again, mate, and have the little D-Max in convoy.
Yeah, good to be back with you boys.
Yeah, mate, to be honest, I didn't think we'd see you for maybe a couple more weeks.
I had my doubts too, mate. What was the idea behind that? You just got a wild idea and thought you'd just go and do the $1,000 track before you came and met me.
I thought it was a good idea at the time.
Half a day up your sleeve, go and do the $1,000 track.
Yeah, I thought 16 Ks, that'll take us half an hour, we'll be out in a second.
The track can get extremely narrow with thick, scratchy bush both sides, and with the added lean from the channel, you can expect a few pinstripes.
Not much you can do, just got to go with it. Not a track for those that really like their paint job on their full drive.
Glad I got you in front, mate, because I can't see much else.
Just got so many trees coming in the car.
Windows?
Hold up, oh yeah, there's a side track on the left. I just thought for a second the road just has been completely washed out, which it has. But there's a little side track we'll take.
Whoa! Yeah.
Once again, you can just see how much rain they get here in Tassie. This would have been a torrent through this creek, and it's caused a hell of a lot of erosion. The track has tightened up once again, and that trench has reappeared.
Every now and again, you get to drive a track that is completely unique and different to any other track you've driven ever.
With the track being so narrow, there's really nothing for it but to drive with wheels in the trench. But once you're in, it's darn hard to get back out.
I'd reckon this is one of those, but you're not going forward at the moment, mate.
Every now and again, you get stuck like buggery and become the laughing stock of the convoy.
This trench has got so deep that Shauno is bottoming out and can't move any further.
I'm out.
With the help of that magic thing called traction control, I've managed to get the D-Max up and out of the trench, but now I'm going to straddle it. I've got to get around to the front of the 30 to help out Shauno, so I'm going to need to build a bridge. Max Tracks to the rescue. By laying them out across the trench, I can use them to slowly get over the trench and around Shauno. I tell you what, you can get really creative with Max Tracks, and these days, I simply wouldn't go on a trip without them. Now that I'm around Shauno, I can get out wide so that he can use the D-Max as an anchor to winch the 30 out of that trench. It's working, but with the added pressure of pulling and twisting the 30 out of the trench, we force the tyre off the bead. This is pretty common when you put so much sideways pressure on a tyre running low PSI.
Well, it looks pretty bad, but it's not that bad really. I just popped the tyre off the bead. It's come off both sides of the bead, so this is what I'm going to do back at camp, I reckon, because I want to be somewhere where, you know, clean ideally and somewhere it's easy. So for now, I'm just going to put the spare on and let's take this one off. Should be pretty easy.
The biggest tip that I can give when it comes to using a high lift jack in a wheel swapping procedure such as this is safety. Safety is absolutely paramount, and on a firm base on the high lift jack is what you're after, because you do not want that high lift slipping and moving. That's how it falls off the jack. With the wheels swapped over, we continue to push our way down the Magnet Track.
I got another one of these deep ruts, mate.
What's your plan here, mate?
I'm going to try not to fall in. It looks really muddy on one side like that other one.
Yeah, Roger. Oh, I see. Yep, going to go up left.
That's the plan.
That was a good drive by Sean, and a good decision too.
Maybe to see if you can get over that first bit before I jump down to this rut again. I think you just got to commit. Or just drive it like really calm and collected, whatever takes your fancy really.
One of the two methods. I'm right behind you. You can push on, mate.
These ruts are huge and they kind of zigzag across the track, causing us to cross them often.
What about if you stayed hard left from there, mate, for a bit further?
Nah, that's the chickens line, mate. I'm going to cross over here and do a Shawnee.
Nicely done, champ.
Too easy.
Barney is all too familiar with deep ruts and he's pretty good behind the wheel. I'm beginning to think that nothing phases this bloke.
Epic little river crossing there, mate.
Oh, this is just amazing, mate. Look at this, it's crystal clear. Well, until I went through it anyway.
I was going to say it was till you went through it. Was she rocky in the bottom?
Yeah, heaps of traction, mate. Heaps of traction. Oh, it just gets better up here too.
Hey, Barney, is this a silly idea? What do you reckon? We're not booked to leave here for another day or two. You want to stay out here for another day?
Mate, that is the ripper idea. You got a camp spot lined up for us?
Nope. Let's just keep driving until we find one, mate.
That sounds like a plan for me, mate.
Woohoo!
Yeah, count me in, mate.
The magnet track actually goes through a range of sceneries, including what feels like tropical rainforest. However, if you're too busy looking up, you're going to end up like Shawnee.
That track is just so slippery. Just came down here and just slipped straight off line. So you don't want to get it wrong that side either. Down there, you just don't want to look down there. It's like a massive drop off.
I've hopped out to give him a bit of a spot. Sometimes that's all you'll need to master an obstacle such as this one. Good work, mate, really good. Now, it's my turn in the D-Max.
All right, so it's a little bit of a tight situation because of course you've got a big drop off that drops down right off the edge of a cliff. You don't want to look that way. And this side here is really muddy and boggy. So if you go down there, it's really hard to winch because you're trying to pull the vehicle against, you know, about that high worth of mud. So we want to try and get him exactly right, pin perfect line. Do our best to guide him through, I reckon. Slow down.
I'm trying my best to watch what Sean is telling me here. He can see the exact placement of my wheels and he's trying to guide me through unscathed.
Up. And to the right. And to the right. Yep. Punch it.
All right, fellas, I guess it's my turn to hit the semi-looking bridge thing.
There you go. Are you trying to help him or hurt him?
I'm trying to hurt him. I'm trying to hamper it.
Barney's a bit bigger than me, so it's going to be even tighter through here. He's gentle on the throttle and keeping a close eye on our instructions. Gently does it, and with a bit of a punt on the other side, he's through.
Whoa!
This track appears to be getting a bit easier as we push deeper into the rainforest section.
Glad I got you in front, mate, because I can't see much else.
No, mate, there's, well, I can see a little bit of the track, but it's so overgrown, it's hard to see anything.
But it's all too easy to get complacent and forget that accidents can easily happen. And just then, suddenly, the 30's in strife. Part of this little bridge just collapsed under the 30. Luckily, thank goodness, it wasn't too deep underneath.
Oh, that's a big hole.
Just had a bit of glare in my eye and I didn't see there was a bridge. And there wasn't much of a bridge, so that's probably the excuse why I didn't see it. And just gone straight down into a hole. I've always had a fear about travelling over old log bridges. I reckon I've just got a bigger fear now. That was pretty scary.
Holding in there.
Now, in case you're wondering, there was actually a bridge here. Not much of a bridge. I certainly didn't see it. And had a few dramas, didn't we, Barney?
Yeah.
Mate, we've got to get Graham through and obviously Barney through. I might have made matters a little bit worse when I had to winch through there, taking a few bits of timber that were crucial apparently, the driving of this, but we'll guide him on the GME. We'll get him through, I think. But you can't do worse than I did, so.
No.
All right, mate, I've got you.
All right, shall we do this?
Right, you're right, you got heaps of room, mate. Come to me even a bit. Come to me, you're gonna go the opposite way off the, yep.
With Sean out the front on the GME, I'm going to try and drive around this obstacle. It's a challenge because there's a tree on my left and this track is so slippery it really wants to put me back in that hole. I was just about to slip in, so I gave that auto a punch and it zipped into action and I was through. That's good stuff, boys. Let's keep going. For anyone looking for a challenging track but with some great scenery, historical sites and artefacts, I really can't recommend the Magnet Mine Track enough. It's a great day trip and well worth a visit.
Jeez, sloppy and muddy through here.
In fact, look, we're enjoying it so much that we're going to explore this whole area and camp out here. We live for this stuff and we just can't get enough.
What I believe from memory to be quite a different sort of a campsite down here. We'll go and have a look at it.
Okay, cool, man. Looking forward to it.
Pretty soon, we're camped up for the night and with a fire going, a beer cracked, I've got a feeling that I'm going to hear some wild tales of what just happened on that $1,000 track. And I've got to say, honestly, I'm a little bit jealous.
Tassie, what do you reckon?
It was a ripper, mate. I'm just so glad you guys invited me down. It was everything you said it was going to be.
Yep.
And a little bit more.
The Apple Isle, mate. I absolutely love this place.
Oh, mate, Tassie is a long-time favourite of mine.
Yeah.
For many reasons. It has a lot of really tough tracks.
Yep.
It has some stunning camping, and I don't think the crowds are really cotton on to Tassie.
There are no... What is this? This is my 5th time down to Tassie in all. You can come to a place like this. We are only... If we left right now, we'd be back in a town in, what, 15, 20 minutes? There's no one around.
Major place you can fly in and out of.
Yeah,
in an hour.
hour. No one around. Folks, honestly, put Tassie on your map. Jump on the Spirit of Tasmania. Get across here with your 4B and bring a lot of recovery gear.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need it. This place is wild and woolly. No, we're going to kick back here for a couple more days and we've got a couple more tracks up our sleeves. But for now, we're going to sign off. Barney, I'm going to leave this one up to you, mate. We might not see you down here in Tassie. We'll definitely see you next time on...
4-wheel drive accident.
Here's that noise. What was that noise?
For more on this adventure and to find out all the details that you didn't see on camera, read my article in the mag. Believe me, you'll want to know this stuff. To view our video extras, visit the 4-Wheel Drive Action website video page, and for even more amazing 4-Wheel Drive Action content, competitions and more, like the 4-Wheel Drive Action Facebook page. You won't regret it.
Where are you going?
Tonight we're cooking up a great old meal. It's the $1,000 chicken curry apricot mix. Drive the ruts if you got the guts. That's what I always say. I've never said that. I've never said that before.
You're sitting at home right now thinking, geez, Graham, that looks all right. They're throwing rocks at me. It's them up there, they're throwing rocks at me. Barney's losing his shit.
You're a bad bugger. Look at you. Yeah, sucked in. It does look like a poo though, folksy.
And I will always stop with you. And I will always love you.
Oh, I'm making love to his Hilux. I love Toyotas.
Stop being funny, I'm trying to drown you.
Yeah, right. So it's a bit like, you know, Graham's could find. He's just there.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm a really big fan of the Triptronic Auto Box because of the versatility in the D-Max. I can go full automatic and let it do everything for itself. Or why are you laughing at me?
Is it tip trotting?
Tip trotting.
Get it! Get it!
Go! You're on!
Get it!
Oh, yes! After all that! Yeah! Oh, it's midnight. I'll go to bed.